Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for attending our NUUO webinar. My name is Easy, and today's topic is about NUUO design tool. Okay, here's today's outline. First, I will introduce what is NUUO design tool, and then I'll show you how to use it and how can it help you to design your projects. And as you can see, NUUO design tool provides three different uses. First is the by camera parameter, and second is by product and hardware, and the third is client PC recommendation. So in the following, I will show you the details and what's the differences between these three uses. And then we'll have a case sharing of regarding the main console projects about the CPU loading reach 100% issues, and how can we use the NUUO design tool to help in this case. And at last, we'll have a Q&A session, and today's lesson will take around 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, let's first check the introduction. What is NUUO design tool? NUUO design tool is a web-based tool that can help customers to choose the suitable products based on the recording requirements. Also, it can estimate the required bandwidth and hardware spec, including the CPU, RAM, and storage capacity. Okay, and where can I find it? You can easily find the NUUO design tool, the calculator, on our NUUO official website. Here's the link for the calculator. And this is the user interface of the web page of the NUUO design tool. And as you can see, we provide three uses. First is the by camera parameter. Okay, this is for the customers who hasn't decided which recording server to use, and user can simply insert the number of cameras with required resolution, frame rate, video format, and our NUUO design tool will automatically come out the minimum bandwidth and disk space, also the possible solutions, including which kind of the NUUO products and for the customers to choose. And second is by product and hardware. This is for the customers who already knows what recording servers to use. So users can easily check whether the selected recording server is capable to handle the recording requirements. Okay, and the third, client PC recommendation. This is for the customers who needs a client PC to monitor single or multiple servers. So he can check whether the PC spec is powerful enough to monitor all the live views or not. Okay. Okay, let's first check the by camera parameter. This is very easy to use. All you have to do is first you have to choose the camera type. As you can see here, we provide three types. First is the IP camera, and second is the analog camera for the standard definitions, which is the AC analog camera, and the third is the HD analog camera. And after you choose the camera type, then you can insert the number of cameras that you want and the resolutions, frame rate, video format, and the video quality, also the scenario complexity, also the scene complexity, and like how many days, how many hours per day you want to do a recording, and how many days you want to keep a recording. And our NUUO design tool will automatically come out the minimum required bandwidth and disk space for you. Okay. So here's the result. Like it will come out the server recommendations. First is about the minimum bandwidth, and then is the hard drive throughput, and third is the total disk space. And also it will list the possible solutions. Like the first, maybe you can use the Crystal Titan and our Titan NVR, or the main console PC based, or the hybrid NVR Mini 2, NVR Solo, etc. So you can choose the recording server that you wanted. And here I would like to highlight that if you are using main console PC based, it will give you the minimal CPU. For example, it says the Intel Core i5 2500K. And what if you didn't have this CPU model? How can you know the CPU you have is capable to do the recording? So that's why we have the CPU benchmark here. So you can go to the CPU benchmark, then this here, look at these pictures. It has the score for each of the CPU model. So you can check whether the score is higher the CPU that our NUUO design tool suggests or not. So please make sure the CPU model you want to use and the score have to higher the CPU model that our NUUO design tool suggests. Okay. Okay, there's other factors that need to be noticed. If you are using main console as the solutions, these factors will also affect the CPU usage. First is the display. So what's the display mean? The display means that the local monitors, the main console local monitors. So if you want to see a live view in the local machine, then you have to enable the display to let the calculation more proper. Okay. And second is the motion record. As you know, if you use record on motion, then main console will need more CPU usage to run the motion detection algorithm. Our main console has, as you know, our main console has the embedded video motion detections functions for those cameras that doesn't support the edge motions. So if user is not using the camera which supports the edge motion, then the CPU loading will increase a little bit because the PC needs to do the motion detections on its own. Okay, then it's the smart guard. Main console has 6 video analytics, for example, like motion detection, foreign objects, etc., and also has the counting applications and they all belongs to main console smart guard functions. So if you want to use those functions, you have to enable it to let the calculation more precise. And the remote viewer. This is mainly take effort if user is using the analog cameras. So if the client want to use the client PC to see the analog camera's live view, then it needs to consume some bandwidth, right? So if you are using analog cameras and you want to see the remote live view, then you have to enable it to check whether the bandwidth is enough or not. And the audio record will only occupy a very small storage capacity, also a small bandwidth consumed. Okay, and the edge motion, this option is for if you want the motion detection functions, but you don't want to consume the CPU loading, so you want the motions directly come from the cameras, so you can enable it to. Then our new design tool won't calculate the extra CPU usage if you use edge motion. Okay, the IVS. Main console IVS analytics will also need some CPU usage to do the analytics. So please note that these factors will also affect the CPU usage, the CPU loadings. But mostly it will affect the CPU loading. First is the display, and the smart guard, and the IVS. These three is the most important that will affect the CPU loading. Okay, and here I will use a simple example to show you how to use the NUUO design tool for the camera parameter cases. Okay, because we always get this kind of questions on our eHelp decks, like dear NUUO support, we have a project that we must install 25 IP cameras at 1.3 megapixels and 30 frame rates, and we want to use main console. Could you tell me what the PC spec is recommended? So this is what we have got the most in our eHelp decks. So here I would like to show you how to use the NUUO design tool to answer those questions. So first, you go to our NUUO design tool, and it will show the important notice. Okay, it says that the NUUO project design tool is mainly used for reference only, because there's many factors, like the different cameras would have different video compressions, and there are many factors like that will on the background will influence the CPU loading. So, and our testing is for exif cameras. So we cannot guarantee that all cameras performance will be the same as the exif cameras. So click the I accept, and you will come to this user interface. Okay, so to answer the customer's questions, it says that he must install 20 IP cameras. So first choose the camera type IP camera and click the 8 cameras and input the 20 channels. the number of cameras. And customer wants to use 1.3 megapixels and like 20 frame rate, and click the calculate. It will come out the minimum bandwidth and the hard drive throughput and total disk space. Okay, then the customer also want to use the main console based, PC based. So it will give you the suggest minimum CPU model. For example, it says the Intel Core i5 2500K. And as I mentioned before, it will show the CPU benchmark. So if it doesn't have this CPU model, then you can check the score. For example, is the score for Intel i5 2500K is 6,505. So you have to choose the CPU models that scores higher than 6,505, okay, to make sure the required PC space, the CPU is powerful enough to do the recording. Okay, and it also shows the minimum RAM is 4 GB. So you have to use 4 GBs and dual channels RAM and 64 bits OS is recommended. Okay. Okay, here I want to please notice that if you are using the video format H.264, it has many different profile, and our testing is based on the baseline profile. So if your camera is using like high profile, then maybe the CPU loading will be a little bit higher. So if you want to lower the CPU loading, then maybe you have to change to baseline profile. Okay. Okay, let's back to the PowerPoint. The second case is the by product and hardware. This is for the users that already knows which products he wants to use. So in this page, user is able to choose the products that he wants. So we have Crystal Titan, NVIDIA Titan, and the IP Plus, which is the main console, and the hybrid main console, the Mini 2, and so on. So after that, you choose the products and models and enter the channels and resolutions, frame rate, video format, like the camera's parameters. Then it will come out. It will show you whether it is okay or not. So if it's okay, it will show the CPU loading. So if it's not, it will show reach the limitation. Please choose a powerful processors. And the third one, client PC recommendation. The concept is similar to by product hardware. You have to choose the remote viewer that you want, and the CPU, of course, and the RAM, and insert the cameras, all the parameters, and it will show whether it is within the CPU or not. So if reach the limitation, then you might need to replace another more powerful CPU. Okay, and at the bottom of the page, we'll have the project tab here, so you can save the settings that you have done, and you can also email the project right away. And also we'll have some useful link for you. So first is the NUUO quick start tips for the main console and the supported cameras for all products. Okay, I'll show you the demos about the second case and the third case. Okay, let's go to the by product and hardware page. For example, like the customer wants to use the main console, right? And maybe I choose the i5 and 8 TB hard drive and 4G RAM. Okay, and he needs 20 camera, 20 cameras with 1.3 megapixels and 20 frame rate. Okay, it will comes out that the CPU loading is 71%. So this is okay, it's within the CPU loading. So what if I choose the lower level CPU like i3? So it will show reach the limitation. Please choose a powerful processor. Okay, so you can choose whether your hardware spec is powerful enough to do the recording. Now let's check the PC, client PC recommendations. So if you want to use for example, like CMS matrix, and your PC CPU is like i7, okay, i7 3090 930K. Okay, then you want to see about 16 cameras with 1 megapixels and 30 frame rate. Okay, it will show this is within the CPU loading. It's only consumed 27%. So what if you use the lower level CPU, like i3? So it will also show the reach the limitation. Please choose powerful processor. So this can help you to check whether the CPU you are using is powerful enough to do all the recording or display the live view or the matrix. Okay. And let's back to the PowerPoint, and I would like to share with you the case sharing about the main console that the CPU loading reached 100%. So that's the case we got in our eHelpX. Like the customer will say that his CPU loading reached 100%, that his main console freeze, that he can't do anything. Okay. So first, we would like to, maybe we got this kind of issues. First, we will help the customers to check that to use our NUUO design tool to check whether his recording requirements meets what kind of the PC specs. And then we'll like to fill, like the customer is using 25 cameras and at 1.3 megapixels and 30 frame rate. So first, use our NUUO design tool to calculate the minimum required PC spec for customers. So, and then it will come out, if he wants to use this recording requirements, then he needs to use at least i7 3930K, this CPU model. And also he needs 4G RAM and 64 bits OS is recommended, and also we will suggest the customer to use quad channel RAM. So that can help the customers to check what's the minimum required PC specs in his recording requirements. So after that, then we can check whether his PC spec. So we can go to the system to check the customer's PC spec. For example, he's using only i5 and like that you can know that he has to use i7 that's enough so the i5 is not enough for the customers to do a recording or to display the live view. And also we have another open source. You can download, refer this link to download the species, and it will show your OS version like Windows 7 and your CPU model and your RAM. It will tell you, for example, like this PC is only 2G single channels RAM, and it will show the motherboard you are using, graphic cards, storage, and hard drive, etc. So also you can download this program to check your PC spec. So then you'll know first why the customer encounter this situation that his CPU reach 100%. First, it might be its PC spec is not powerful enough for his recording, or for to display the live view. So in this case, what's the solutions? We have the customer has two options. First is to upgrade the PC spec. First is you can upgrade the CPU, more powerful CPU, and you can install quad RAM, not single RAM. And if the customer is using 32 bits OS, then we will recommend the customer to use 64 bits OS. And if he is not able to upgrade the PC spec, then he can go the second option to lower the quality. First, we'll suggest the customers to lower the resolutions and the frame rate for the existing cameras. And what if the customers needs to view the local display? Then we have another options for customer to do the local display setting. Okay, let's first, if the customer needs the local display, and what's about the CPU usage about the local display? The more channels you are displaying, the higher the CPU, the higher usage, you will need higher usage of the CPU. So for example, there's a little experiments in our lab. We're using i3 CPU and 2 gigabit single channel RAM. And we are viewing 20 cameras at 2 megapixels. So if we're using one by one layout, that means the full screen, we only consume around 10% CPU usage. And what if we are using 3 by 3 layout? The CPU will increase a little bit to 42% usage. And what if we are viewing the 5 by 5 layout? The CPU will reach the limitations, like you will reach 100%. So in this case, that we have another options for you. You can try to lower the frame rate or resolutions. Or you can try to use the auto scan to replace the multiple layout. For example, we can change the 5 by 5 layout to 2 by 2 layout plus one by one layout and use the auto scan to view all the live views. And here I would like to mention that in our main console, version 5 above, we have a new feature that called Stream Usage Panel. You can find it at the list tab, and after you go to this page, it will show that whether this main console PC is doing decode or not. So if this PC is doing the decoding, then it might need to consume more CPU usage. So as you can see, you can move your indicator to this channel, and it will show why this channel is need decoding. Okay, first it shows that because this channel is being local display, and second, our main console is doing transcode this channel for the client. That means if you are using remote live view or the mobile to see these channels, then in this page, the decoding list here, it will show that the main console is using the transcode, or it needs more CPU to do a decoding for these channels. So if you encounter that the CPU usage is reached 100%, then you can check how many channels needs decoding, and whether you can lower the channels that needs to be decoding to see whether the CPU can usage may decrease. Okay. And also that if the client PC may need to save the bandwidth to see the live view, so our main console will provide 3 stream profiles, but it also needs transcoding. That means if you are using transcoding, that will consume more CPU usage. So if you want to save the CPU loading, then in our main console version 5 above, we support the multi-stream profile directly come from the camera side. That means we don't need our main console to do a transcoding. We can get the second streams directly from cameras. That would help lower the CPU usage. So how could you know whether this camera model is support the multi-stream or not? You can go to our camera support list, and here we have the column for multi-stream support. If it shows yes, that means our NUUO main console supports this camera model's multi-stream profile directly. So main console wouldn't need to do the transcoding for this camera for the second streams. Okay, and at last, here's the learning checklist. In this lesson, I will like all of you to know how to use the NUUO design tool and know what's the key factors that might mainly affect the calculation result. And third, I would like you to know the differences between by camera parameter and by product and hardware and client PC recommendation. What's the difference between these 3 cases, and when to use what kind of when to use by camera parameter, or when to use by product and hardware, and when to use the client PC recommendation. And then I would like to know how to use the new features stream usage panel in our main console to check whether the main console is recording or not. And at last, I would wish you to know how to check whether this camera is supported multi-stream by NUUO. Where can you go check whether this camera supports multi-streams by my main console? Okay, thank you very much for attending our new webinar. And we'll have 10